walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you on your way. The content it never stays, but positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted. The zero buffet, hydration like Boucher.
What is going on, everyone? I hope that you have had a great, you can hear me probably. I hope that you've had a great week this week so far. This is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. If you've never been here before, we'll put up the details, the MediaScope details. So we are here every week on Fridays now. So if you did not notice, there we go. Fridays, every week, 8 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitch. And you know what? Let's see if we are live on Instagram. I need to check because I don't know that we are. Let me look, and see if we are live on Instagram. Let's see. No, I don't think we are. It says we are, but I don't think we are live on Instagram. So we're going to get that going. But before I do that, because I know that I know that you all have been having a great day. Let me know how your day is. Let me know what's happening, and welcome in to everybody. If you happen to be watching me on YouTube, what's up, YouTube? If you're watching me on Facebook, it is good to see you. If you happen to be watching me on LinkedIn or Twitch, I'm happy to see you. So let me remove this really quickly. Okay, wonderful. So, hey, everyone, what's up? I'm going to get to you in just a moment. I'm trying to see what's happening with our good friends' Instagram, because it doesn't seem to be live. And so this is, for those of you that are keeping along and keeping track, this is season 10. Can you believe it? And we are on episode 4, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just trying to get this. Give me a minute, because you know I can't walk and talk and chew gum. So let's do this. Let's see. We're going to get that together. Hold on, Instagram. Just give me a second. Let's do this. And all right, I think we're about to go live now. It's connecting, and we'll wait, and then we'll go live. Go live. Yep. Okay, here we are. We are live now on Instagram. Sorry, Instagram. I don't know why it did not want to connect. But anyway, you know what I have to do? I have to give you guys a big hug, because it has been just since no, I didn't see you last week because I was off last week. What's up, everyone? I give you a hug to let you know I appreciate you being here. So let's see who's here. Oh, Durham Skywriter is here. What's up, Durham? How are you? It is great to see you. And my good friend, the Food Plane. It seems like I see you every day now, DS. It is so great to have the both of you here. Okay, we could take down the details, please. I have an intern with me today. We have BC. So everybody say, hey, BC. It's BISI. Just say hey to her backstage. She is hanging out with us today. So let's see. I will go ahead and take that down. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to it. How, first of all, tell me again how your day was. It's Friday. Are we not excited that it's Friday? I am. I'm very excited that it's Friday. Let's see. Miss Chu is here. Also, Marquita Morgan has joined us on Instagram. Fantastic Record of Filmworks. Hey, how are you? And Joni Red Butterfly. Soror, it is so great to see you. To Diva, for you, my birthday twin has joined. How are you? Welcome in. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to get to this in just a moment. Let's see. Okay. So we're going to get to this in just a moment, but I just want to go through. And Food Plane says spring is springy on the East Coast. Well, good. No more winter, huh? Well, you know, I grew up in upstate New York, so you were never assured of any good weather. I always used to say April showers brings May snow, because it did snow in May one time. That's when I knew that place wasn't for me. And we also have GR Houston Jack. Gwendolyn, how are you? She just finished a great run over on Indie Soup Media. She had 2 shows tonight. Both were great. So that's why I'm always like a little bit late, because we have shows like right before this on Indie Soup. And LaShondra Tinsley is also here. Hey, how are you? Yes, we are now live. The aim is to go live about 8:15 or so. So that is our goal. That is our new time, no longer on Wednesdays, but it is great to see you. And let's see. Oh, Durham Skywriter says, congrats on season 10, making a creme brulee. Really? In honor of season 10? I'm honored. Thank you. Patricia, you did not miss the hug. You did. And you know what? If you come in after the hug, I will make sure to do another one, just because I know you enjoy it so much. And Food Plane says hello to Gwendolyn. Hello. Let's see what's happening over on the Instagram side. Danny Stone has joined us from Toronto, Ontario. Hello, Danny. How are you? It is wonderful to see you. And hey, to Diva for you. Okay, so we're going to get to it. We've got some stories. We're gonna start with our media, but first, I want to show you a video. We're going to have a little bit of discussion because I can't wait to hear. I know this has been talked about ad nauseum, but could I have video 1, please, BC, if you don't mind? LaShondra says she loves hugs. BC, do you see video 1? She may not. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do video 1. Go ahead and I'll do it. Don't worry about it. Okay.
President Trump on Thursday signaled an end to the tariff war between the U.S. and China, saying both countries have been in touch. But in the meantime, Chinese factories are taking over TikTok, urging American consumers to avoid tariffs and buy direct from Chinese warehouses. Scripps News national correspondent Katia Tubman joins me now to take us through these viral videos and warnings that experts say shoppers should consider.
Right, Liz, U.S. shoppers looking for good deals online are being targeted on TikTok by Chinese factories looking to reach them directly. But experts are warning that some of these offers may be too good to be true.
TikTok has entered the tariff war group chat. Videos like these are almost everywhere on the social media app.
$130, $10, $10, and $10.
How much is this bag in your country? In my country, $24, $24, $24.
Chinese factory influencers urging American shoppers looking for low prices to bypass tariffs and buy directly from their warehouses.
I opened my app a couple of days ago and just started seeing nonstop video after video of Chinese creators urging me to use Chinese wholesale websites or download certain apps to buy goods direct from the factories in China.
Sky Canavis is the principal analyst for retail and e-commerce at eMarketer.
It's questionable how that item would make it to the U.S. There would still be tariffs on it, but they seem to be suggesting that even with the 145% tariff, it would still be cheaper than what they could get elsewhere.
TikTok content creators are pushing U.S. consumers to buy products like laundry pods, makeup, shoes, and even tiny homes directly from Chinese manufacturers, and telling shoppers to cut out popular e-commerce sites like Temu, Shein, and Amazon.
Let's talk about cutting out the middleman. You will only meet a middleman who raise up the price.
Purchase stuff directly from China, and it ain't no middleman.
Some TikTok creators are also pushing luxury brands, claiming to spill secrets about where these products are actually made. This video, claiming to make and sell Lululemon products for as low as $5 from China, has racked up more than 13 million views. But Lululemon told Scripps News Group the company doesn't work with the manufacturers identified in these viral videos and urges consumers to be aware of potential counterfeit products. Cannabis says getting fake or low-quality products is one of the many hurdles shoppers could face buying directly from some Chinese factories.
There are a lot of other hurdles in terms of product quality, the shipping, the delivery, payments, and if customer service, if there's any problem with the product, it wouldn't be easy to return and get your money back.
Her advice?
Just be careful of who you're dealing with.
For shoppers used to dealing with e-commerce sites like Temu and Shein, they can expect higher prices soon. Both China-founded companies announced Thursday that starting April 25th, they will be raising their prices due to, quote, recent changes in global trade rules and tariffs. Both companies encourage their shoppers and consumers to shop now before those price hikes go into effect. Liz?
Katie, this is fascinating. I've not seen any of these videos, so watching this now was very interesting and new for me. We're seeing how tariffs are impacting shoppers on TikTok, as you pointed out, but how are these tariffs impacting the TikTok ban?
Well, Liz, the ban law is still on the books. Now, a deal to save the app was upended earlier this month after President Trump announced those sweeping tariffs on Chinese imports. And to buy more time for the app, he did extend the TikTok ban to June 19th, and that it was another extension from a previous extension. Now, the president said yesterday that the Chinese leaders reached out to talk about the tariffs as well as what would be next for TikTok, but there is no clear next step for the app. He also said that a deal would be delayed, and so we can expect an extended deadline to save the app in the meantime. Liz?
Yeah, I know a lot of interest around whether TikTok will be able to remain functional here in the U.S. Millions and millions of users are on that platform. National correspondent Katia Tubman reporting for us from New York. Thank you, Katia.
Okay, lots to talk about. I know people have talked about this ad nauseum, but I want to hear thoughts from you. Let me go over to Instagram first and say hello to everybody who's joining. Or let me just say hello to everybody who is joining. My name is Tachi. I am a media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist. I am here basically every week, right? Just about every week at used to be 6 p.m. I have to get used to saying around 8:15 p.m. Eastern time on Fridays. Friday nights, we do a MediaScope. This is basically a MediaScope After Dark over here on all these wonderful platforms. Thursdays, we are also on Gospel 107.1 FM in Nassau, Bahamas, and the rest of the Caribbean. You can hear actually the people in the Bahamas. You all will hear this show next week, so you'll get all of that. Unless I decide to record something for you, something else for you, which I often do. But I wish you a multitude of blessings. And guess what? Those of you that are watching on YouTube, why are you not subscribed if you're not? No reason not to be. Make sure you like and subscribe. And yes, that's about it. Let's get back to the show. I want to say hello to Fifi and Cliff Sobel. How are you, Cliff? It's good to see you. Also, Ron Lewis Photos. Ron says, we love Tachi. We love you. I think people love you more. I'm just kidding. But we love you, Ron. Thank you so much for being here. Fifi says, happy Friday to the family. Beautiful Reflections is here. Bryson B. Noen, BBK. That's it. He's our resident pop culture specialist. Thank you for being here. Mosby has also joined us. And yeah, thank you all so much for being here on a Friday night. Lots you could be doing, but you chose to be here with me, and I am forever grateful for that. Okay, let me see. I think I have two more things. So, all right, here we go. Let's go back. Susan Sawyer is here. She says, hey, how are you, Sawyer? It is great to see you. Durham Skywriter says, yikes, people better be careful. You should be careful anyway. You know, I think that we are way too free with our dollars and yen and whatever else you spend. We're way too free with them. So we should be careful in any case. Bryson is also over here and says, what's up? How are you? How are you? All right. So Gwendolyn says this, goodness gracious, isn't that how we got here? Greed is ridiculous. I get saving a few bucks, but really, listen, let's keep going because you probably want to hear what I think. And even if you don't, I'm going to tell you anyway. All right. And Gwendolyn says, since I don't shop Temu or Shein, I guess it's foreign to me. Now, there are lots of people. I don't know what the stats are now, but at one point, Shein was the most visited website, right? Now, this was before the advent of Temu. So I don't know if they're neck and neck. I don't know what it is. One of you may be able to tell me, but at one point, Shein was the most visited website. more than Amazon. And I think I've said this to you before. So, but once Temu, or I think it's actually pronounced Temu. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I think it's Temu, but Temu. But once Temu came on the scene, and their rock bottom prices, their earrings for 30 cents. Yeah, they really gave Shein a run for their money, definitely. So if you've noticed, Shein has started branching out to other things. So it was really clothing, shoes, and accessories before, but now you can buy furniture, you can buy housewares, and a lot of other things, but the same thing on Temu. So what this is a race for your dollars. Okay, it's a race for your dollars. All right, let's see. LaShondra says, I know the tariffs are new to use. However, China charges us astronomical tariffs, or are new to you, but China charges us astronomical tariffs. It's only right that we charge them back. Furthermore, it's scary to think about how much China produces for America. It's scary, but whose fault is that? You know what? Let's take blame where blame is due. We stopped being a manufacturing country. All of this is out of greed. Let's remember this. So Tim Cook of Apple I saw a talk that he did, and he got on and he was talking about, people keep saying that it's about the cost of doing business and the cheaper manufacturing in China. And this is what he said in that talk. He said, that's not necessarily the case. It's not the cheapest market anymore. It's the technology we're after. Now, again, he could say any number of things, right? So at this point, we don't know who's telling the truth and who is not. But I can see, the joke, quote unquote, has always been that Chinese things are cheap. Okay, well, there are different manufacturers here, just like there are different manufacturers of automobiles, different manufacturers of, you're not going to put a Rolls Royce on the same level as you would are cars even cheap anymore? What's a cheap car nowadays? Nothing. But you're not going to put that on the same level as you would a Ford. I don't know, what car does Ford make? I don't even know their models. So let's say that you're not going to put that on the same level. So just like you have different manufacturers here, you've got different manufacturers there, right? And so if you look at, you go to, let's take Bottega Veneta, leather goods, right? You could get something that's cheap that looks like it, but the quality is not the same, or you could get something that the quality is good, regardless of where it's made. You're going to set the standard for how you want things made, right? So you just have to be careful. Anyway, here we go. And Food Plane says, no disrespect intended to my Chinese brothers and sisters. I just don't trust a lot of Chinese products because of all the fakes they are known for and low quality, like Temu. You get what you pay for. Okay, no, well, absolutely. You can only, at some point, things can only get so cheap before quality begins to suffer. I think this is the thing, you have to understand and know what you're getting. If you understand and know that you're getting something that is probably not going to last forever and you're okay with that, then that's fine. The problem is when you start expecting, can we even say that luxury is quality anymore? That's a whole other conversation, right? When we talk about fashion and luxury, but you can't expect luxury quality of things and then you're paying 30 cents. I think there's some sort of cognitive dissonance with some people and you're complaining. I'm like, but you paid 30 cents. What did you expect? So I think the expectation does not meet or their expectations are not met, but you didn't pay for high expectation. Does that make sense? This is just exposing our shopping behaviors and this is exposing a lot, I have to say. All right, let's see. Also, Food Plane says, yes, many things are less expensive, but I go for quality. Again, you get what you pay for. Indeed. LaShondra says, furthermore, we must begin producing in America again. It produces great paying jobs, keeps crime low, and helps our country thrive. America's quality is also better. Well, again, I don't like to, if you are producing for quantity, like large quantity, at some point, the quality suffers, right? If you're producing thousands upon thousands upon thousands, by default, there are going to be things wrong, which is different from a handcrafted artisan. I don't like to put on a country that they produce cheap things, because guess who's buying those cheap things? We can say all we like, but who's buying the stuff? I challenge you, look in your house. Look in your house and see how many things are made in the US. I'm looking around now, and besides maybe one or two appliances, even then the components. So the thing is too, we have to point the finger at, why are we so greedy that we need to make more profits? And so we can't do that. Plus, we talk about the fact of, Ron has talked about this before. You know how long it takes to build factories? Who's going to work these factory jobs? So there are a lot of things at play where it's not so easy to bring manufacturing back, because we've already decided that manufacturing is not important to us. Just saying. Let's take a look at what Instagram has to say. Here we go. Here we go. Ron, I know you have something to say. Let's see. Aswak Ward is here, and he says, this just in, Ford has pulled their MediaScope sponsorship. They weren't going to sponsor me anyway. So if they were, I'm sorry, but I'm okay. I will take the L on this. I don't need it. Thank you. Shia Beautiful, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And After Dark with Johnny Ray. Johnny Ray, how are you? Miss Viola is also here. Wonderful. And Joyful Connections Coaching says, hey, beautiful people. Hey to you, beautiful person. It's wonderful to see. All right, so put your comments in the thing. I wanted to start off with this because I think it's interesting and really important. Look, even the things that we all use to go live with, whether you use your phone or whether you use a camera, very few, if any of them, are domestically made. In fact, let me just go on. If you're using your phone, it's not domestically made. I don't care if it's assembled here. Remember cobalt? For the batteries for all this stuff? Where does it come from? Congo. So, there's very little that is here. I mean, and that's a whole other thing. Don't get me started. Don't get me on my trajectory with that one. But yeah, so Camellia Flanagan, welcome in, welcome in. Okay, and so let's see what's being said over here. Okay, we already have that one. Ron Foster is here. He says, I'm on YouTube. Okay, here you are, Ron. And LaShandra says, you got it right. Yeah, I mean, listen, at some point, we said what was important to us, and it was not manufacturing. So we cannot now be angry and upset that manufacturing is over. And I do understand where it is, but don't blame the companies that ship manufacturing overseas. Blame them. Because now if it had to come back here, in a perfect world, they would have to pay you at a certain pay rate, right? That's not something that they need to do overseas. So there are people to blame, and it's not the consumer necessarily, or only the consumer. Consumer takes blame as well. So Ron says, Americans want cheap products. Americans did this to themselves. I mean, well, and Ron says, what these Chinese influencers are exposing is that we are what these Chinese influencers are exposing that we are purchasing on a psychological default. Yeah, we are. It is psychological default. But you know what? That didn't just happen overnight, folks. This is something that has happened over time to the point that you just get used to this type of thing. So here's the thing. Let me ask you this. Are you willing to pay more for that dish rack? If you had to pay $15 for your dish rack, as opposed to, well, is it even $1.25 anymore at Dollar Tree? As opposed to $1.25, although that $1.25 one, you notice it's not going to be great quality, but are you willing to do that? So the question is, are you willing to pay more for those things? Because at the end of the day, they're not going to take the heat. They're going to pass it on to you, dear consumer. You. That's right. So are you willing to pay for it? Let me know. And LaShondra says, in terms of American-made things in her house, hardly any damn thing. Exactly. And G says American companies are American companies ready to pay workers a living wage? This I want to see. They're not. They could talk the good game. They could do all of it. They are not. They're not willing to do that. So yeah, when they're willing to do that, then perhaps we can talk. But until then, I doubt it. Okay, folks, let's see. We have some more. Fifi says corporations will not come back now that they've achieved record profits off of cheap labor. The moral of the story is we did this to ourselves. And we've shown that we're very greedy and we love record profits. Because to be honest, to live, you don't need to have record profits, right? But this is what people want. I don't know. Trish, how are you? Welcome. Ask Mark Ward says this just in, Dollar Tree is pulling their sponsorship from me. I'm not going to have any pretend sponsors left, am I, Mark Ward? Ask Mark Ward says this just in, MediaScope has been banned in China. Look, no, don't ban me. I didn't do anything. To the contrary, I said it's our fault, which it is. So, Trish, it's good to see you. Nation of Wabiria is here. What's up, Wabiri? Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. All right, Dr. J. Why was I saying that? After Dark with Johnny Ray Rhymes says, "Hey, how are you?" And LaShondra says, "But we have to get started now." So perhaps, LaShondra, perhaps, but that's another 11 years. It takes 5 to like 12 years to build a factory. This is not, and then for everything to, and I'm just going to put it out there. We don't have the technological know-how right now to do what is done there because they've been doing it for so long. And not just for us. Please don't think, I think sometimes people think like we were their only customer. My friend, we constitute 15%. So we were not their only customer. So they've been doing this for a long time, and not just China. Places like Bangladesh, places like Pakistan, lots of different places have been doing the manufacturing thing. Japan has manufacturing. So that's us when we decided we wanted to become a consumer society as opposed to a producing society. Listen, it is what it is. So Ron says when factories return to the USA, it will be using robots, not humans. Now that is interesting. The AI thing and the robots thing. Absolutely. Because the point is these people still want to make money. So they're going to be looking for the ways to maximize profits. And if I don't have to pay you, even better. Now, remember, I keep talking about this. I keep talking about ethics in robotics because it is a thing, right? You hear this a lot, not a whole lot lately, but it has been a point of talk of is it ethical to do these things? Yeah, robots are not people, AI are not people, but because it's machine learning and we're teaching them to think, do you think they won't, just like the show Westworld? I've talked about this before, where the robots or the androids started to remember the terrible things that the people had done to them. This is why I always tell ChatGPT, please and thank you, because perhaps you will spare me during the robot apocalypse. Thank you. Just saying, always tell the technology, please and thank you. All right, so let's see. And Ron Foster says, China today now outsources their labor to third world countries and emerging economies. So I hate the term third world. I like emerging markets better, like you said, emerging economies, because third world assumes that there's a first and second world and that they're better than us, and they are not. I'm telling you, you are not. So I understand that the people are at different levels of quote development. So what I like to use is emerging markets. So definitely. So LaShandra says reopen and update the factories that were closed. A lot of them were abandoned and left communities devastated. True. Who is going to work there? So we're talking about, when you talk about these communities, we're talking about Rust Belt areas around the Great Lakes. You're talking about places in Ohio. You're talking about upstate Western New York. You're talking about Michigan. You're talking about Illinois. So all of these places that are around the Great Lakes that had a lot of manufacturing once upon a time, who's going to run them? Because manufacturing now is different from manufacturing back then, right? So who's going to run all this stuff? Where are the skilled individuals that are going to do this? So I think it sounds good, but I don't think it's as simple as we make it out. And then that's an awful lot of money to pump in. Who's willing to do that? Who is willing to do that? So interesting. Let's see. Also, G says, yes, there are AI ads in California right now about hiring AI staff versus humans. Listen, people. Listen, people. And Ron Foster says the old factories are now loft apartments and retail. They do. Now, that's in, you're right, Ron, in major cities like New York, in Chicago, etc. But who wants to live in Buffalo, New York? Sorry. I grew up there, but nobody wants to live there. So you talk about having like an old General Mills factory or whatever and trying to convert, nobody wants to live there. So it has to be in some place that people want to live. But you are correct. In major cities that had a lot of manufacturing, they're converting those old factories into housing and drawing, what are they called? Hipsters there. Because often they're in downtowns and waterfront areas. And before, those were not desirable, but that's now where people want to live. But again, it has to be the type of city that people want to live in. Youngstown, Ohio is not where people necessarily want to live. We just have to be truthful about that, right? Flint, Michigan is not some place where people necessarily want to live. We have to be truthful about that. Now, can they be converted into places where people want to live? Maybe. But there's a whole other city planning thing around that. So, Jazzy, what's up? Finally catching me live on YouTube, and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Let's catch up with what's happening on YouTube. Yes, today is Good Friday. Classic C Gems brought that up. So happy Good Friday to everyone. Happy Good Friday. Divine Right is here. It is Taco Friday. Divine Right, also known as Sarita Wills, is the proprietor of the MediaScope food truck. She is the queen of food truckery and the minister of libation, and she's wishing you a happy Taco Friday. She's got tacos in the chat. Grab them before they're gone, my friends. Grab them before they're gone. Long Gotti, it is good to see you. Princess Seven Closet has joined us. Marissa Tigney is also here. Welcome in. Camellia Flanagan says, what about Turkey and Croatia? Oh, in terms of manufacturing, yes. And then Turkey really has a lot going on with medical tourism as well, right? So because the price of surgery, whether it's elected or needed surgeries, it's so astronomical in the US, you have a lot of medical tourism that's happening. But Istanbul is like, I don't know if it's number one, but it's high up there on the list for medical tourism. So yeah, listen. All right, let's keep going. I wanted to have that. Oh, Camellia Flanagan said, I stayed in Turkey for a month. I saw all of their production and manufacturing myself. So, wow. So, all right. So, Turkey, and you know what? You're right, because I know a lot of people that are vendors will go to Turkey, to Istanbul, to these huge, like the marketplaces to buy things to sell. You're 100% correct. So they've got a lot of manufacturing, a lot of wholesale there as well. Welp, W-E-L-P. We're going to go on. How about okay, BC is chiming in from the back. Let's see. Oh, yes. Okay, I thought she had a comment. All right, so we are now actually going to, I think we've exhausted that topic, but I wanted to know what you all felt about that because this is really interesting. So, what they're saying in that story is, just be cautious, be careful. But, it's not just now. I think you always have to be cautious and be careful, particularly with places where you're not going to be able to return things. And let's be clear, that's not just China. That's businesses in general. Because how many times have we seen on social media people that are like, I didn't get my XYZ, and it had nothing to do with China or any place else? There are bad business practices all over the place. But now people can take advantage because you're looking for a good deal. But I will say, if you're a shopper, probably like on Shein or Temu, you probably want to do it before the 25th, as they said. All right, hey, Nation of Wabiria is over here. All right, we're going to start with the media segment. Could I have the media segment video, please?
Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentality.
That's the wrong one.
Close the doors, walk across.
I got it. So the media intro is this. Okay, could I have photo 1, please? All right, so we know who this lovely lady is. This is Cheryl Lee Ralph, who is she's on, what's the name of the show? Why can't I think of it now? Elementary. Quinta Brunson. Somebody help me. Why can't I think of the name of the school? It's something elementary. I don't know why I can't think about it. Abbott. There we go. Abbott Elementary, which, by the way, Quinta Brunson named after one of her teachers, which is awesome. So Cheryl Lee Ralph from Abbott Elementary and Dreamgirls and all sorts of other places. It's a Living, if you remember that show. She was honored yesterday with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yes. So if you don't know, we could take down this photo, please. If you don't know, there we go. Okay. If you don't know, you can go to Variety had this, and also the Hollywood Walk of Fame. There's a Walk of Fame account, YouTube channel, and you can watch everybody that's getting their star. In fact, next month, Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy is getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But I would have thought Cheryl Lee Ralph would have had a star, but this is the star, and it's not free. Remember, we talked about this before. You have to pay to have this star. People have to nominate you, and then it's paid for. Is it $75,000? I can't remember, but yeah, that's the point. But so could I have video 2, please? I want to show you some of what she said.
And I just want to thank the people who told me no. No, 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 no. You're not this, you're not that. You're too black, you're too short. You're not black enough. You're not this, you're not that. Woo, and some of them were not kind about it, but I thank you. I thank you because your rejection was a redirection, and look where it landed me.
Absolutely. Sometimes your that no is a yes to something else for you. So that was part of what she said, and you can actually watch her entire speech if you go to Walk of Fame on YouTube. You can watch the whole ceremony if you want, or you can scrub through to her speech. And it was actually really cool because she had for those of you who don't know, she also happens to be a member of my organization, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And there were lots of women that are members of Delta that were there to celebrate with her in Los Angeles. And she was so surprised. And in fact, our national president, Elsie Cook Holmes, went out there as well. So I think that was really cool. So anyway, this is the 2,808th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So there are almost 3,000 stars. If you've ever been to LA, I'm sure you've seen, or Hollywood in particular, you've probably seen part of the Walk of Fame. Some of it goes through some sketchy area, but a lot of it is okay. It's interesting to see all the different people who have been awarded, and it's not just for film and television. There are also people in music and in theater that have been awarded a star on the Walk of Fame as well. We've got some comments. Let's get to them. Hey, Rosemary McCadney says she is a natural born star with or without the overpriced price star. Absolutely. And you don't have to have an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, a Tony, a star on the Walk of Fame. You don't have to have these things to show that you are talented. It's nice to be recognized by your peers, but if you're not, that doesn't mean you're any less talented. Look at me. I have none of these things. Anyway. And Ron Foster says, I love her. Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. And LaShondra says, it's crazy how much those stars cost. Listen, the stars don't make themselves. So listen, it's only things are worth what people are willing to pay for them, right? And let's see. Jazzy says truth. Absolutely. And G says it's about time, right? I'm really surprised she has not had one. Jazzy says so well deserved and long overdue. And congratulations to her, says LaShondra. All right. All right. Oh, and I didn't get you before. She says, Rosemary says hello to everyone and to me. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Thank you, After Dark with Johnny Ray Abbott. I don't know why Abbott Elementary was escaping me. Let's see. Divine Right says Sorors represented. They certainly did. There was a huge contingency of them. Joni Red Butterfly and Classic C Gems are clapping for her. Plush Life Media, how are you, my dear? Welcome in. Thank you. Camellia Flanagan did confirm that the stars cost $75,000. Confirmed. And Fenton Haney is here as well. Welcome in. Welcome in. So Camellia says you have to pay $75,000 for your star, or someone can pay for you as well. Yes, absolutely. And Bryson says Fantasia is getting her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Wonderful, wonderful. Bryson also wants to let us know that WrestleMania 41 is tomorrow and Sunday on Peacock and Netflix. So any of you that are big WWE fans, go ahead and tune into WrestleMania 41. When I was little, I used to be a huge wrestling fan. I think a lot of us were, because it's entertainment, right? So I haven't watched like in years, but when I was little, Saturday, that was our thing. They even had, and at the time it was called WWF, right? Do you guys remember the WWF cartoon? We watched it every Saturday. So they had like Roddy Piper and the British Bulldogs and all like the wrestlers from like the 80s. So let's see. I think, hey, she says, hey, doll. Hey, Plush. How are you? It's wonderful to see you. So Classic C Gems does remember the WWF cartoon. We had some good cartoons, didn't we? Anyway, let's see what other people are saying. Jazzy said, yes, oh my gosh. Hey, FRR, is this you, Fred? How are you? Welcome in, Fred. Welcome in. Good to see you. Says hello to all of us. And Rosemary says, Fantasia was a star to me the first time I saw her on American Idol. Beautiful voice. Absolutely beautiful voice. Yes, and Bryson also wants to let us know that this is the second weekend of Coachella. So if you guys are Coachella heads, you can watch that on YouTube. I actually watched last weekend and got some good entertainment. Some I'm like, now who are you? But some I really enjoyed. So Missy Elliott performed last week, and she she's always intergalactic. She always has this Afrofuturism thing going on. So I really enjoyed Missy Elliott. She was really good. I watched Tyler, but I don't know. Missy Elliott, she gives a show. So I enjoyed that. But if you are interested in watching Coachella, it's actually on now on YouTube. But here's the thing that I've heard about Coachella, and it's not, I don't think this is anything new, but I've heard and seen on social media, they're like, this is Fire Festival too. Remember the Fire Festival, that debacle that happened in the Bahamas, or it didn't happen, right? So people are saying that because the campgrounds, people were waiting in their cars for hours to get into the campgrounds. They usually open the campgrounds like at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, so that people can set up and get themselves ready for the festival. Well, apparently it wasn't open. I don't know what happened. So people waiting in their cars for hours. So you can't use the restroom. You can't, you don't want to get out of it was crazy. And there are snakes. You know the movie Snakes on the Plane? Snakes on the ground. Now, granted, the Coachella Valley, that place is mostly an open, that place where they're doing Coachella, for the most part, is an open field for most of this. So, of course, there's going to be snakes. But snakes, somebody just showed, because they had their tent set up and the snake just went through. That's when I would go home. First of all, campgrounds, rent a house nearby. You've already paid. Here's my thing. This is the thing with fake vacation. You either do it or you don't. These tickets to get into Coachella start at $600. So you paid $600 for your ticket, and then you are going to go and sleep underneath some paper mache and popsicle sticks on the ground with snakes? Tell me what kind of sense this makes. Please, I'll wait. Let me see. Maybe somebody has some sense for for me. Oh, Fantastic Record and Film Works. Absolutely. LL killed it. So LL Cool J did perform as well. He performed with LA Phil. So the LA Philharmonic performed with LL Cool J with, I remember the name of this group. There was a group, the Spanish speaking group. And why can't I remember their name? But I've watched them before on Tiny Desk Concert, and they're really good. So they played along with a lot of really great people. It was good. The LA Philharmonic is a great orchestra. So that was good. LL did a great job. And the audience seemed to enjoy it too. I'm glad they knew who LL was, or even if they didn't, they pretended like they did. Divine Right says 0 cents. Absolutely. If you're going to do this, go all in. That's all I'm saying. Go all in. Anyway, let's see. Let's go on. Could I have photo 2, please? There we go. All right. Well, speaking of old school stuff, Clueless is getting another series, and it's actually going to star Alicia Silverstone. It is in the works at Peacock for those of you that are interested. Tell me, for those of you that are, you could take this down, please, BC. For those of you, did any of you watch the series Clueless? Let me know. I admit I did. I mean, you get so into the movie, right? And then the series, and then, remember, she had in the movie, I think her name was Elle, right? She had that big closet that had it was like the thing at dry cleaners, and that was like also the height of like 90s. Was that 90s or early 2000s? I think it was late 90s, early 2000s technology, right? It was the height. Ron Foster says, I love the Clueless movie. Durham Skywriter said, I never watched it. Jazzy watched it and loved it. Oh, Food Plane, he's on the WrestleMania bandwagon too, because he's watching tomorrow. Bryson said, if you don't know what Coachella is, Google is your friend. Well, thank you, friend, for that. Thank you so much. G says, Fire Festival was a scam. At least Coachella actually happened. Exactly. These folks know about the details when they make the purchase. Yeah, absolutely. That was a complete scam. And yeah, if you have not watched the Fire Festival documentary, it was on Netflix. I believe it's still on Netflix. Please watch it because I was enamored by. It's interesting how influencers can get you to do things. So the influencers they hired influencers to really show that, oh, this is going to be thing. And you can put all your money on the card or the code and you scan to get in. And I have the Brooklyn Bridge to sell you. Anyway, so let's see. Yeah, snakes on the plane, right? So you're absolutely right. Fires Festival was a scam. So Jazzy says, I need them. There we go. Hold on. Jazzy says, oh, hold on. Why is this? Hold on a minute. I got it. Jazzy says, I need them to stop these remakes though. Yeah, I'm like, nobody has an original story. But again, we know it's not about originality. We know it is because Hollywood is comfortable, is risk adverse. So they're comfortable with people they already know. They're comfortable with stories they already know that have made money. And that's what they generally go with. If they take a risk, because remember, people are investing in this. And I get where the aversion to this is, but then we end up with the same old 6 stories all the time that they recycle. And then when it doesn't do well, you wonder why. Well, we've seen this before 3 times. So yeah, I need them to make some new stories as well. Ron Foster says Hollywood is lazy. You know what? Yeah, it does come off and it does feel lazy. And I'm the first one to say that's a lazy way of doing things. I think it's more risk adverse than it is laziness. That's why I'm like, I don't know why people keep leaning and depending. Oh, we're going to get this. Do it yourself. Yes, the dividends are not going to be as much. Okay, we know that. But and it's a harder sell because you have to do the distribution. You have to do those things. But guess what? I just read something that was talking about the whole fact that Netflix in particular is looking to YouTubers and things that people are doing. Because we're creating content on a regular basis and we're not asking people for anything. So they're like, if they're able to do this on their dime, imagine what they could do if they're given a little more. So we're proving that we're doing things. Now, does that always mean that if you're a YouTuber, you can captivate the nation? No. It means you have a niche of people who believe in what you do. And as far as I'm concerned, that's more important. But it's always worth a try. And Netflix is good about seeing that. And also Tubi. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. A lot of people have stuff on Tubi and they really do. Well, they know that independent stuff also, we will be looking for that. So Jazzy says, today's world is very PC, which makes these remakes not work because they spoke about issues we could never today. You're right. You're right. And Ron, for the most part, hates remakes. Listen, my thing is leave well enough alone. If you're going to do it, though, it better be stellar. Writing, cast, everything. Just like, okay, so we already know, I think I talked to you about there is going to be, I didn't, but there is going to be a remake of A Different World. I'm wanting to see what they do with this. Well, I shouldn't say remake, sequel, right? So I'm wanting to see what they do with it because A Different World was like one of my favorite shows. So my thing is always like, you better not mess this up. After Dark with Johnny Ray says the new Freaky Friday movie looks funny. Yeah, there is another new Freaky Friday movie. Isn't this Freaky Friday 75? They've done this before. So we'll see. We'll see. I need them to come up with something else. All you have to do is look at YouTube, look at TikTok, and there is immense talent there and lots going on that I think could work. Now, this is no disrespect to legacy media, no disrespect to legacy veteran actors, etc. You definitely put in work, etc. But that doesn't mean for every one of you that are Hollywood recognized, there are thousands of others that are still doing the work that are not. So that's not always the measure of great work. It is one measure, but not the measure, because then you get Freaky Friday 75. Just saying. Different World was right, Ron? A Different World was everything. Okay, so it's Freakier Friday, and it comes out on August 8th. And yeah, no, Sinbad was was excellent, absolutely, in Different World. And Jazzy is not looking forward to it. Okay, okay. All right. Bryson also mentions that the Met Gala is on May 5th on Cinco de Mayo. I am looking forward to the fashions. If you don't know Vogue, go to the Vogue channel on YouTube. There is a documentary, a short documentary about Black dandyism. And it's really interesting because the theme this year, what is the theme? It's about Black dandyism, but I can't remember the title. Bryson, tell me the title of the theme this year. I can't remember the title, but it's looking at Black dandyism. Okay, so let's keep going. Jake is here. What's up, Jake? Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right. If you're just joining us, welcome to the fold. This is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. We are here every week, 8-ish, usually about 8:15, because we wait for the day to be over for Indie Suit Media before we come on. And we're also here Thursdays in the Bahamas, 2 p.m. On Gospel 107.1 FM in Nassau, Bahamas, and the rest of the Caribbean. And if you're just joining, you don't know my name, Dr. Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist. Okay, let's get photo 3, please, because we are getting ready to wind it down, because we had a long conversation at the beginning, but I think it was good. Yes, TLC. Did you guys know that there is going to be a TLC musical? Crazy, Sexy, Cool. Like their album. Okay. So it's an upcoming musical about the 90s trio, and it's going to premiere at the Arena Stage in DC next year. And they're also aiming for a Broadway move, according to Deadline Hollywood. So, but they don't have a timeline for the Broadway production. So you could take this down, please, BC. So this musical is a story of T-Boz, Left Eye, and Chili. And again, they're Grammy. If you don't know, they're Grammy Award winning group, if you don't know who they are. So this is written and directed by Kwame Kwei-Armah, who is the former artistic director of London's Young Vic. And the credits include One Love, the Bob Marley musical. And so they did the Bob Marley musical. Great. So June 2026, it will make its premiere on the Arena Stage for 8 weeks. I love the Arena Stage. Okay. Fun fact, when I was at Howard, I was offered an internship at the Arena Stage. But at the time, I was like, because I was wanting to do, the arts and communication. And they're like, yeah. So they were like, well, do you have a car? I was like, no, I'm in DC. I don't need a car. Oh, well, the intern has to have a car. I was like, okay, that's dumb. So then they called me back. They said, oh, well, they said it's okay if you don't have a car. I said, okay, I've already accepted another internship. I have time for this. So yeah, fun fact, the Arena Stage, I was supposed to do an internship there. I think that would have actually been cool. All right, so that's what's happening there. If you are interested, look out for the Crazy, Sexy, Cool musical coming to Arena Stage and hopefully Broadway soon after. So Jazzy says, oh, let me get my tickets. TLC was everything to me. You guys are digging the things we're talking about tonight. Hey, Miss Elise. Okay, speaking of DC, right? Oh, you were on a different page. Okay. Yeah, well, we're in several different places. For those of you who don't know, it's on my personal page. It's also on Indie Suit Media. So we're all over the place. So definitely, I don't know where everybody's gathered today, mostly on YouTube, but join us wherever. We're also on Instagram, as you can see. And Trish says, this is a nice time. Fantastic. Camelia Flanagan says, speaking of Sinbad, how is he doing if anyone knows? I don't know. If anyone knows, Bryson, put it in the chat. Let me know. So let's see, Bestie, what's up? Good to see you. Okay, Thank you, Bryson Leach. The theme of this year's Met Gala is called Superfine, Tailoring Black Style. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is going to be interesting. I'm definitely interested in watching that. I'm trying to keep it moving. Listen, because I'm not good with keeping things moving. So we're going to do that. We have just a little bit of time left to make it 1 hour. So let's do this. Let's go to let's go to photo 4, please. We're gonna do rapid fire because I want to get some of these stories in. So, Jimmy Fallon. Folks, Jimmy Fallon has unveiled a new competition show called On Brand. And this is where contestants create and pitch ads for real companies. So this is scheduled to come to, of course, NBC during the 2025-26 season. And it actually is, Fallon is going to be the head of a fictional marketing agency where contestants are tasked with crafting campaigns for real world clients like Dunkin', Samsung, Captain Morgan, and Pillsbury. Now, what's the goal? To cook up clever ideas enough to hit the store shelves, the airwaves, or both. This is interesting. Now, I wanted to get a video, but I couldn't really find one for this. But I'll let you know as this develops. But yes, so Jimmy Fallon now is producing a game show. That's kind of cool. I like game shows. All right, we'll see what this is. So they said as the competition unfolds, contestants will be granted access to participating brands and their business insights. Interesting. The final reward will be a cash prize, the title of Best in the Business, and the chance to see their campaign go live, influencing how customers engage with major companies. So what's the cash prize? They didn't say what it is. So, all right. So look out for that if you are interested. Could I have photo 5, please? We're going right along, folks. And now there was a video for this. I'm not trying to get dinged because it has music in it, and Death Row Records produces it. So yeah, I'm not definitely not trying to play with that. But Snoop Dogg is releasing a gospel album, folks, on Death Row Records in remembrance of his late mother. That's actually kind of nice. So it's going to be called Altar Call. And it's a tribute to his mother, as I said, wrapped in melody and memory, according to Design Taxi. So it's set for release actually in 9 days. If you didn't know, so April 27th this year, so 9 days, it will drop. And that would have been his mother's 74th birthday. So that's why it's dropping then. His mother's name was Beverly Tate. So, and his mother was a longtime church director, apparently as well. So it blends gospel, hip hop, soul, all of that. Interesting. Now I had the video. So I'm going to tell you to do this. You can actually find it on Snoop Dogg's TikTok. If you're on TikTok, go to Snoop's TikTok and the video is there. You can also go to Design Taxi and it's one of their articles and they have it embedded. But you can definitely go to Snoop's TikTok and watch it there. All right. Ron Foster says, oh my gosh, Snoop Dogg. Yeah, interesting, right? Lashandra says, okay, Snoop, I'm excited to hear. Oh, and Fred says this will be his second gospel album. I didn't even know there was a first. I knew there was a reggae inspired album, but I didn't know about the gospel album. Okay, interesting. So let's see. Also, okay, and he says the first one was actually good. Really? Interesting. I had no clue that he had a first one. Did you on Instagram know this? Classic C Gem says, sounds very interesting. Carolina says, hey, how are you? Beautiful. Welcome. Lux Life News is here as well. And Classic C Gem says Charlie Wilson and Snoop did one. I didn't even know about that. Okay, that is good. Well, Fred says it was good. So, hey. Anyway, Depster, I think I missed you. How are you, Depster? Good to see you over on the Instagram side. All right, so let's do this. I had a lot of media stories today. Let's go to pop culture. That's our last one for today. Could I have the pop culture video, please? Did it play? Okay. Please excuse. It's a little difficult to do all of this. I'm used to doing it myself all the time, so I could get it, but so just give a little bit of grace. All right. Could I have the last photo, please? That is, there you go. I mean, all I can say is today on What the Hell Is This? I guess Heinz thought that we needed some bling with our barbecue, our catsup, and our mustard because there's a new accessory designed to open your packet of catsup or mustard or barbecue sauce or whatever. It's a grill or grills, as they say, specifically designed to open the packets. I can't. They call it drip and dip. Okay, let me do this with a straight face because I can't. So it's a playful reference to hip hop culture, right? But it's also, if you notice, could you put the photo back up? If you notice, there's some grooves in it. I don't know if you can really see it, but on the mustard side, and that's supposed to help you tear into it a little bit more. So they're not selling these grills outright. You can take it down. Content creators across Brazil now. If you don't know, Brazil is usually the market where things happen first. So they've tapped content creators across Brazil to showcase the accessory on places like TikTok and Instagram. So maybe you haven't seen it yet, but you probably will. Now that I'm talking about it, I bet you I'm going to see it. Yeah, so apparently the art of opening a package with your teeth is trendy. I don't do that with my teeth. I use my hands. First of all, I don't eat those ghastly condiments because you all know I can't stand them. But anyway, yes. So that is interesting. Tell me, would you wear a Heinz grill or grills? Would you wear these? Maybe you're not the type of person to wear a grill to begin with, but would you do this, or a golden tooth? Would you do this if it was from Heinz? Please let me know. I would love. Oh, and there's so many people. Oh, LaShandra, you can't be laughing at the grill. It's beautiful. Fred says, who has time to put all that on just to get to condiments? Apparently the people who wear this. Elise said, oh, you people think this is funny. Oh, Fred is done. Well, Heinz, we're sorry if we've messed up our opportunity to be sponsored by you because we're laughing at the grill. I'm saying, what the hell is this, please? It's a grill. It's a grill. It. Oh, Fred, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, After Dark with Johnny Ray says, pretty please, can you say that again? It's so funny. What did I say? Just rip it where the tear is. No, Ron. It only works if you have the grills. You have to have a Heinz golden tooth for that to work. You can't just, how dare you think you can rip it with your hands? How very dare you? All right. Well, Fred says, no, I would not. LaShandra says, nope. Durham Skywriter says, ketchup should be outlawed. I agree. Anyway, I don't put sauce packets in my mouth because they were just in somebody's hands first. That too. Rip drip. Exactly, Johnny. Exactly. That is, and then of course, marketed to black people. They really want our money and they think we are, well, somebody's wearing them. Let's see. iFish is here. What's up? Lux News has the hear no evil, see no evil thing. Lux Life News says folks don't get their dental cleanings. It's Tyra. What's up, Dr. Tyra? Good to see you. Listen, that's a resounding no for me, because not only do I not wear grills, I also don't like these condiments. And further to Patricia's point, I would not put them in my mouth. They've been not only in somebody's hands, they've been in God knows where. So Divine Rice says, yes, Bama, Bama, and Bama. So in the words of Huggy Lowdown, Hines, you are the Bama of the week. Anyway, I haven't done that in a while. Cheers to Huggy Lowdown. Anyway, that is it for us today. We are now just over an hour. Thank you all so much for bearing with us. Thank you for coming every week. We will be back again next week. So, hey, Tyra, how are you? She came over here on this side. Well, it's good to see you. Feel free to watch the replay if you would like. We had a lot of fun and lots of stories. So with that, I am going to, we've got, overtime. Yep. We've got overtime. Yep. We got 10 minutes overtime. So thank you all so much for hanging out. We're going to go. Oh, Ron, you're doing puzzle night tonight? For those of you who are interested, if you're a nerd like I am, and like a lot of us are, we are with Ron Foster on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sunday nights, and we do the New York Times puzzles together. We do 3 puzzles. We have some conversation, and then we do 3 New York Times puzzles. We figure them out together. It's a lot of fun. So join us on Ron Foster's YouTube page. So yes, we are. So have a great Easter weekend. Oh, yes. So today is Good Friday. I hope everybody had a good Friday. For those of you that celebrate Easter, happy Easter. I can't assume everybody celebrates Easter, but happy Easter Resurrection Sunday to everyone, because I won't see you then. Happy Good Saturday tomorrow, and happy Good Friday today. All right, guys, thank you so much. It's because of you all that I do this. So we're going to end the way we always do. I love you for watching. I bid you adieu. You guys, myself, and all of this info, we're going to exit stage left. So until next week, cheers. And I got the end. Don't worry.
Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you on your way. The content it never stays. More positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted. Let's hear it from fake.